Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Global Online Quiz. My name is George, and I will be your quizmaster this evening, and we are coming to you live from Eindhoven, the Netherlands. And now it's not just me in the studio this evening. We also have Steph, who is behind the WhatsApp, so make sure to send her your team photo. We also have Guido, as always, moderating the chat, but unfortunately, Guido wasn't feeling so well, so he's working from home, but it wouldn't be a global online quiz without a photo bomb. So there we have Guido in the studio with us, just like always. And finally, we have Rudy, who's making sure you can hear and see everything this evening. So that does it for us in the studio. Let's talk about the quiz this evening. So far, we've seen lots of different teams from all over the globe. We have some from Israel, from Canada, from Germany, also right here in the Netherlands, from Malta and Spain. We also saw Brazil, Wales, Latvia, Austria. So great to see everyone from all over the globe joining. Welcome. Thank you for spending your day with us. So before we get started, let's go over some of the do's and don'ts and the rules. And the big thing for this evening is to have fun. We're all here to have fun, which means you will be checking your own answer sheets. Now, if you are able to be in a local competition with, say, a couple other teams, then of course it's a little bit more fun if you switch answer sheets and grade each other. But don't panic if that's not possible. You can just do it there at home all by yourself. Now, if you want to share some of your team photos, that's also makes the evening that much more fun. Steph is manning the WhatsApp channel. You can do that by this QR code. So you can scan the QR code and it will connect you with our WhatsApp channel. And again, you can use that to send your team photos. And you never know, maybe we will share those throughout the evening, so you may see yourself up on the big screen. The QR code also allows you to do two other things. Along with connecting us via WhatsApp, you can make a contribution. And of course, at the end, you can submit your final team score. And of course, we hope everybody does do that, because on Monday, we will post the final ranking for this edition of the quiz. So you can post your scores up to 36 hours after this live stream. So even if you're rewatching this on Sunday or even a bit early on Monday, then feel free to send us your scores and we will put them together and you can see how you ranked with the rest of the globe. So it's also great fun for me to see how you guys are doing after each round, so I can see the chat, so I can follow along. So please let me know how you do after each round. I will let you know what the maximum amount of points were after each round, and then you can put them in the chat. Also, Guido can then stay along and keep up to speed with what everyone is doing. And again, it just adds that little bit of extra interactive flavor for this evening. There is one rule this evening, and of course, I can't really enforce it from here, but we would say no cheating. We don't want you to use any sort of Google, WhatsApp channels in between, friends trying to get answers, smoke screens, smoke signals, anything like that. All of the answers this evening need to come from you and your team alone. And indeed, it just makes it that much more fun when you know you got the answers and it came directly from yourself. Now, we also have printable answer sheets that you could have printed out from our website, but don't panic. If you didn't print those out, just grab any regular piece of paper and number it 1 through 10, and you're good to go. This evening's quiz is 6 rounds. Each round has 10 questions. So we're going to start with the picture round, as is a bit of tradition, and then rounds 2 through 5 will all be general questions given to you by me over the microphone here, and you'll be able to answer those with the answer sheets. And finally, we end the quiz with the ever-favorite music round. Now, some of the rounds also have a theme, but don't panic. I will explain each round as we go together throughout the evening. And finally, we have a break after round 2 and round 4, so this allows you to get up, stretch your legs, maybe grab a snack or a new drink. And then, that does it for all of the do's and don'ts, the rules. And that means we're going to kick it off with round number 1. And just like always, this is the picture round. And this week, we're going to show you 10 cities and villages on the water. So we want you to name the country where each photo was taken. So we don't need to know the city. We want to know the country where each photo was taken. So you're going to see each photo twice. The first time for 15 seconds, and then it'll loop back again for another 10 seconds. And after that, we'll give you 60 more seconds to finalize your answers. And then I will report back to you with the answers for round number 1 and moving on to round 2. So give us the country for each of the cities you see here, and we'll see you on the other side. And we're back. It's time for the answers, but before we do, I need to say hello to Croatia, the UK, and Denmark. I see they joined us during that first part of the picture round. So again, welcome. Thanks for joining this evening with us. And now we're going to go into the answers, but first, if you're in a local competition, now would be the time to switch the answer sheets. That way you can grade each other and, like I said, add to the fun. If you're at home, now is the time to grab a different colored pen. That way we can mark everything correctly, and you can keep your score that you can give us at the end of this round. But with that, we're going to go on to question number 1 of round number 1. That first city that we saw, that was in Turkey. So 1 point if you had Turkey on your list. Next, we zoom right along to question 2, and that was in Portugal. So 1 point if you have Portugal written down for question 2. Question number 3, we went into Sweden. Now, Sweden for 1 point for question number 3. Question 4, we zoom on down to that sunny beach, which would be nice to be at today, but we're here in the Netherlands, but we were looking for Brazil for question number 4. Question 5, we hop on a plane, and where do we go? We go to China. China for 1 point, question number 5. Question number 6, we go a little bit south, and we are going to South Africa. So South Africa for question number 6, 1 point again. Question number 7, where did we go? We went to India, so that was 1 point as well for India. Question number 8, we went to Monaco. So Monaco for 1 point, question number 8. And question number 9, we kept it quite close. We went to the Netherlands, so the Netherlands for 1 point. And finally, question number 10, we went down south, and that was all the way to Australia for 1 point there. The maximum points you could get for this round was 10, so do let me know how you did in the chat. Let Guido know how you did in the chat. We're going to give you a minute to calculate your scores, and we'll come back with round number 2. Well, it looks like quite a few of you get around and travel. We're seeing some 7, 8, even We Are Amazing, a 9 out of 10. Some others also think they need to travel a bit more. Well, hey, it's always a good reason to get out and see the globe, but looks like we're off to a good start this evening. And with that, we're going to go on to round number 2, so make sure you have a fresh answer sheet. We are going into a mixed bag round, so that's going to cover a whole bunch of different topics, but I'm going to kick you off, as normal, with a question about flags. It is a bit of a tradition. Here, Yolinka loves to start us off with flags. It's also a favorite of Guido's. So here we are with question number 1 of round number 2. All sorts of wildlife can be found on U.S. flags. Some examples are deer, buffalo, horses, eagles, even pelicans. But there are only 2 U.S. state flags that have grizzly bears on them. One of them is Missouri, which has 2 bears in the coat of arms on the flag. The other U.S. state flag has a far bigger grizzly bear featured on it. While the size of the bear varied depending on the flag manufacturer, in 1953 it was standardized. From then on, the design of the bear was based on the monarch, the last living subspecies of the grizzly bear endemic to this U.S. state. So we would like to know which U.S. state features a grizzly bear predominantly on his flag. So there's only 2. One of them is Missouri. The other one is the question that we have for you. So which U.S. state features a grizzly bear predominantly on its flag for question number 1? For question number 2, we have some pictures that we want to have some answers for. So we're looking for 4 separate answers, each one half a point each. It's very simple. Can you give us the person behind these mustaches? So can you name the 4 famous mustaches you see here? For question number 3, we're sticking with the picture theme, and in front of you, you see 4 different pictures. What we want to know is what connects all 4. So there's one word that logically connects all 4 that connects all 4 of these pictures. And if you can find that connection, you earn yourself 1 point. For question number 4, we're going in the sports realm, and we have a question about Cristiano Ronaldo. So I have multiple choice, so I'm going to give you 4 answers, and we would like to know which one is the correct one. To this question, which of the following records is not held by Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it A, the youngest player to score a hat trick in a FIFA World Cup match? Is it B, FIFA's all-time record holder for most goals in competitive matches? Is it C, the most followed individual on Instagram? Or is it D, the first footballer to surpass 1 billion in career earnings? So which one of these is not a record held by Cristiano Ronaldo? For question number 5, I'm looking for 3 answers, each one half a point each, and it all has to do with the man you see on your screen here. This is all about Brad Pitt, and what we would like to know are the films he played in for the following 3 roles. So we have A, we have Heinrich Harrer, we have B, Tyler Durden, and we have C, Lieutenant Aldo Raine. So can you name the film that matches these roles? Question number 6 is also a multiple choice, but first, the question for you this evening. The literary technique that serves as a companion piece to a story within a story, where an introductory or main narrative sets the stage either for a more emphasized second narrative or for a set of shorter stories. So we would like to know which of the following is not a famous example of a frame story. Like I said, we give you 4 options. We want to know which one is not a famous example of a frame story. We have A, the Decameron. We have B, Les Miserables. We have C, the Canterbury Tales. And D, Arabian Nights. So which one of them is not a famous example of a frame story? For question number 7, we have an overhead shot of a city. This is a Spanish city. And my question for you is, which Spanish city can be viewed from above? And we're sticking with the multiple answers for question number 8. So we're looking for 4 answers, half a point each. And what you see on the screen are 4 musical instruments, and we are looking for the proper name for each one. So can you give us the proper name for each 4 of the musical instruments you see on the screen? For question number 9, I would like to know which country has the longest coastline in the world. So which country has the longest coastline in the world for question number 9? And finally, question number 10 is our connection question. So if you're new to the Global Online Quiz, allow me to explain quickly what you're going to see. We will do, we'll show you 3 short clips, and they'll go by only once. But what we're looking for is the one word that logically connects all 3 of these clips. So again, you'll see 3 short clips. In there, you can write down names of characters, titles of the show, whatever it could be. And one word, though, connects all 3 of them. So they'll only play them once, and it'll go directly into the timer. So what is the one word that connects the following 3 clips?
Three people have died in a week.
Accidents happen all the time. What makes you think it was murder?
There hasn't been a murder in 20 years.
You're saying this wasn't an accident?
Not everyone's a murdering psychopath. It's high time you realize that. You and your monkey.
Did he mean me or that? Have you ever wondered why the crime rate is so low, and yet the accident rate is so high?
I'm gonna bust this thing wide open.
From the guys who watched every action movie ever made and created Shaun of the Dead. They are the best the Navy and Air Force have to offer. They've been brought together to form an elite squad of fighter pilots. Their mission, one of national security and international concern. These are the fearless pilots.
Seems no matter what I do, I end up hurting someone.
The men who command them.
Pudding?
No, thank you, sir.
Looking for a lover who needs another. Don't want another night on my own. Wanna share my love with a warm-blooded lover. Wanna bring a wild man back home.
And with that, we've come to the end of round number 2, but don't fear, we'll give you 90 more seconds to finalize your answers. And welcome back. Now is the time for the answers of round number 2. But of course, before we do that, if you're in a local competition, now would be the time to switch your answer sheets. And again, if you're only at home with your team, now's the time to grab the different colored pen and get ready to mark on those answers. So let's go for question number 1 of round number 2. We started off with the flag question. And the answer we were looking for question number 1 was California. So California for 1 point if you had that massive monarch grizzly bear and state flag. Question number 2, we were asking you the famous mustaches. So up there on the screen, we had A, Freddie Mercury. We had B, Hulk Hogan. We had C, Burt Reynolds. And we had D, the famous cartoon character Yosemite Sam. So half a point each for those that you got correct. For question number 3, we had another picture connection. So again, we were looking for the one word that connects all 3 of the pictures. So we have the Lord Howard Carter. We have the Carters. We also see Helena Bonham Carter. And we see Nick Carter. So the one word that connected all of them was Carter for 1 point in question number 3. Question number 4, we went into sports and about Cristiano Ronaldo, and we asked you which one of them was not a record. Well, it was A, the youngest player to score a hat trick in the FIFA World Cup, because that actually belongs to Pele. So A was the answer for question number 4. Moving on to question number 5, we were talking about Brad Pitt, and all of the roles that he played. We wanted to know which movie matched the roles. So we started with A, which was Heinrich Harrer, and that was 7 Years in Tibet. We then went with B, Tyler Durden, which was Fight Club, and C, Lieutenant Aldo Raine, which was Inglourious Basterds. So half a point each for those that you got correct. Question number 6, we went on to ask about the frame story. We wanted to know which one was not a famous example of the frame story, and that was B, Les Miserables. The Decameron is a frame story containing 100 tales told by a group of young people as they shelter in a secluded villa to escape the Black Death. The Canterbury Tales are presented as part of a storytelling contest by a group of pilgrims, and perhaps the most famous frame story of all is Arabian Nights. All of the many different editions open with the initial frame story of the ruler Sarar and his wife Sharanzanda, who tells him a different story each and every night. So B for question number 6. Moving on, we had that view from above the Spanish city, and the Spanish city we were looking for was Barcelona. So 1 point if you had Barcelona for question number 7. Question number 8, another one of our multiple answers. So we were looking for the 4 musical instruments. So we had A, which was the pan flute. We had B, which was the sitar. We went with C, which was the ukulele, and D, one I didn't know, but that is the hurdy-gurdy. So half a point each for all of those that you got correct for question number 8. Question number 9, we asked you which country has the longest coastline in the world, and as you can see, the answer we were looking for was Canada. So Canada for 1 point if you got that correct. And finally, question number 10, that was our connection of the 3 different clips. The 3 shots that you saw, that was Hot Shots, and we saw Hot Fuzz, and then we saw Hot Stuff by Donna Summers. So the one word connecting all of those was hot. So 1 point if you got that one correct. In total, for round number 2, you could have gotten, 12.5 points. So do let us know how you got on in the chat, but we're going to give you 1 more minute to calculate your score. Well, I'm seeing quite some good scores. 12.5, another 12.5, 9, a 4.5. Don't worry, as long as you're having a good time, that's all that matters. Like we said, it's all about having the fun. And it's almost time for a break, but before we do that, we have some team pictures to share this evening. Remember, you can use that QR code to keep sending your team pictures into Steph, and she will siphon through those, and maybe you will see them on the screen. But first, we have a batch to go now. So let's see, who do we have joining us this evening from all over the world? Let's zoom in really quick and see, what do we have there? We have Lazamika from Austria. Looks like you have quite a nice little dinner going on there. Looks great, as we say here in the Netherlands. Eet smakelijk. Let's see, who else do we have with us tonight? Let's zoom in again and see. We have team Zizikama from Portugal with a nice little mascot there on the couch. Looks like you guys are having a great time. Thanks for joining us this evening and hope you're enjoying it so far. I think we have a couple more to go through. Let's see. Yes, we have some more. Let's zoom in and see. Looks like we have another mascot with us. We have the champions from Belgium. Well, let's see how this evening goes, if we can make sure that team name is true with the champions. Thanks again for joining us. Hope you're having a wonderful time this evening. And we have some more. Again, let's zoom in. Let's see what we have. We have the Rainbow Babes. I remember you from my last quiz. So great to see you back here again, here from the Netherlands. And we also have What's Left from Estonia. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're enjoying it, as well as the rest of the teams. And I believe we have, nope, that was it. So, like I mentioned, if you want to send us your team pictures, you can use that QR code to send those to Steph, and we will see what we can put on the screen. But now you all deserve a break. So we're going to take 6 minutes to get up, stretch your legs, get something fresh to drink, maybe refill your plate. It looks like we had some teams with some nice little platters going on there. And I will see you in 6 minutes with the questions for round number 3. And welcome back, everyone. We're saying hello from the Netherlands here. Hopefully you had a nice little break and ready to go, a stretch before we start into the next round. But before we do, I really wanted to give a quick thanks to everybody who has made a contribution through the QR code. It really means a lot to us to have those contributions come in. It's kind of helps out for all of the hours and time that Yulinka and the team here spend preparing these quizzes for you. So if you haven't already, we do hope that you consider chipping in a few dollars or euros or whatever your local currency is. Again, this helps to keep enabling us to make these awesome quizzes for you. And we look forward to doing that for the near future. It would also be really good if you can make one team contribution. This helps to reduce the amount of transactions fees we have through the payment provider. So if you can make one team contribution, that would be very beneficial as well. The payment link will always remain active, so even if you're watching this on replay, no worries, you can always use that to make a donation towards the team here at number 42. And with that, we are going to go on. This is the QR code. Again, like I said, it remains active, but we are going to move on to round number 3, which this evening is a special themed round. So make sure you have a fresh answer sheet and make sure your pen's ready to go, your beverages are topped off, because this round has everything to do with mythical and mythological creatures. So in some cases, the name of the creature is actually the answer to the question. In other cases, the question has very little to do with the creature, but you'll find that creature hiding in the answer. So round number 3 has everything to do with mythical and mythological creatures. And with that, we go to question number 1. This 1990 comedy drama is set in the early 60s. It revolves around a teenage girl who moves to a small town with her mother and sister. The film stars Christina Ricci, Winona Ryder, and Bob Hoskins. But most famously, it also stars Cher, who scored a hit with the Shoop Shoop song, It's in His Kiss, from the soundtrack of this film. So we would like to know the film. So can you name the 1990 comedy drama that stars Christina Ricci, Winona Ryder, Bob Hoskins, and famously Cher? On to question number 2. This Greek island is part of the Saronic Islands and is separated from the Peloponnese by a narrow strip of water. The island features natural springs, which explains the name of the island, deriving from the Greek word for water. In the 60s, it was home of Leonard Cohen, who wrote his songs Bird on a Wire and So Long Marianne on the island. Which island am I talking about? And a further clue to kind of help you out for those not so familiar with Greece is also the name of a Nazi terrorist organization from the Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So which Greek island was home to Leonard Cohen and was also the name of a terrorist organization from the Marvel Comics and Marvel Cinematic Universe? Moving right along to question number 3. This band was formed by guitarist Joey Santiago and singer Frank Black in Boston in 1986. Their band name was selected randomly from a dictionary as they liked the look of the word and the definition as mischievous little elves. The band is known for their dynamic loud, quiet, loud shifts and offbeat lyrics about extraterrestrial and biblical violence. They achieved modest success in the US, but were more popular here in Europe. Some better-known songs are Monkey Gone to Heaven, Here Comes Your Man, and Where Is My Mind? Their sound was highly influential on acts such as Nirvana, Radiohead, Smashing Pumpkins, and Weezer. Can you name the band? So we're looking for the band that was formed by guitarist Joey Santiago and singer Frank Black in Boston in 1986, who have some songs known as Monkey Gone to Heaven, and Here Comes Your Man. For question number 4, we have a cartoon family for you, and we would like to know what is the surname of the sitcom characters Peter and Lois and their children Meg, Chris, and Stewie. So what is the surname of the sitcom characters you see in the picture here? Peter, Lois, Meg, Chris, and Stewie. Question number 5. This book dates back from the late 1st century AD. A Latin work, it was probably written by Gaius Petronius. The book tells us about the bizarre exploits of the narrator Encolpius and his slave and boyfriend Giton. It is one of the most fully preserved Roman novels, and as such is useful evidence for the reconstruction of how lower class lived during the early Roman Empire. It was even made into a film in 1969 by Italian filmmaker Federico Fellini. Can you tell us which book I just described? So it's a book from the 1st century AD. It's one of the most fully preserved Roman novels, and it was made into a film in 1969. Moving right along to question number 6, we would like to know what was Bruce Lee's final completed film before his death in 1973. It was directed by Robert Klaus, and nowadays it's widely regarded as one of the greatest martial arts films of all times. So can you name Bruce Lee's final completed film before his death in 1973? On to question number 7. There are many different types of stars. For instance, Betelgeuse is a red giant, and Rigel is a so-called blue supergiant. But when classifying the stars in our Milky Way, one type of star is by far the most common. It is estimated that up to 3/4 of the galaxy is made up of this type of star. Can you name it? So can you give us the name of the star that is estimated to make up 3/4 of our galaxy for question number 7? Question number 8 brings us to comic book heroes. And we're talking about this fictional character you see on the screen that appears in the Marvel Comics and is a founding member of the X-Men. He emits powerful beams of energy from his eyes and can only control those beams with the aid of a special eyewear, which he must wear at all times. His real name is Scott Summers, but we want to know, what is his superhero name? So can you name the fictional character on the screen from the Marvel Comics who uses powerful beams shot through his eyes and whose real name is Scott Summers? We would like to know, what is his superhero name for question number 8. Two more questions to go, but we go to question number 9. We would like to know, what is the national animal of Scotland? It's one of very few national animals that is mythical. It was adopted as the national animal of Scotland by King James I, but nobody actually knows why. One possible explanation could be that the animal represents purity and innocence, as well as masculinity and power in Celtic mythology. So which animal is that? So can you give us the name of the national animal of Scotland that was adopted by King James I, but nobody actually quite knows why? And finally, question number 10, we're going with some Harry Potter trivia. So we would like to know, which secret organization from the Harry Potter series of books has or had members such as Sirius Black, Albus Dumbledore, Severus Snape, Rubeus Hagrid, Minerva McGonagall, and Fred and George Weasley. So can you give us the name of the secret organization from the Harry Potter books that had those characters such as Albus Dumbledore, Severus Snape, and Fred and George Weasley? Sorry about that. I was just so excited about the Harry Potter question that I actually knew one, that I clicked the button a little too soon, so the timer started just a little bit too quick. But never fear, we're going to give you 90 more seconds to finalize your answers. And now it's time for the answers for round 3. But before we do, we're seeing lots of great team photos coming across. So don't forget to send those to us via the QR code. Steph is ready and waiting for you to send those awesome photos. It really is a lot of fun to see who's playing along with us tonight. So now is the time to switch your answer sheets if you're playing in a local competition. And again, if you're there just with your own team at home, now is the time to grab the different colored pen as we go on to the answers for round number 3. First, the question number 1 had to do about the 1990 comedy drama with Christina Ricci and, of course, famously Cher, and that was Mermaids. So Mermaids for 1 point, question number 1. Question number 2, we were looking for that Greek island that was home of Leonard Cohen, which would had all of those songs, and also that terrorist organization from Marvel Comics in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was Hydra for 1 point. 1 point for question number 2. Question number 3, the band that was formed by guitarist Joey Santiago and singer Frank Black, that was the Pixies. So 1 point if you had Pixies down for question number 3. Question number 4, we were looking for the sitcom, the surname of the sitcom characters you see here. Well, this was from the show Family Guy, and we have Peter, Lois, Chris, Meg, and Stewie Griffin. So Griffin for 1 point, question number 4. Question number 5, we were looking for the book that dated back to the 1st century AD, one of the most fully preserved Roman novels, and that was the Satyricon. So 1 point if you had that right for question number 5. Question number 6, we were asking about that Bruce Lee film, the final one completed before his death, and that was Enter the Dragon. So Enter the Dragon for 1 point. Question number 7, we had talked about the stars in the galaxy and the universe. Well, the star that is estimated to make up to 3/4 of our galaxy is the red dwarf star. So red dwarf for 1 point, question number 7. Question number 8, we went to the Marvel Cinematic Universe again. We were looking for the superhero name of the character Scott Summers, and that was Cyclops. So Cyclops for 1 point if you got that one correct. Question number 9, we went to Scotland and we wanted to know what was the national animal, and that is the unicorn. So unicorn for 1 point. And finally, question number 10 was that Harry Potter question that I got so excited about. The secret organization we were looking for, that was the Order of the Phoenix. So 1 point if you had Order of the Phoenix down. That was round number 3 for a maximum amount of 10 points. We're going to give you a minute to calculate your score. Do let us know how you did in the chat. Hito and I follow along. And after that, we'll come back right into round number 4, another mixed bag round of questions. And welcome back. I'm seeing some good scores in the chat, some 10s, some 9s. Even one eagle-eyed player there saw that that wasn't Cyclops, but Havoc. I'm not that much into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I'm going to take your word for it, so feel free to give yourself half a point for that one. It's always great to know that everyone's paying attention and following along. But with that, we're going to go on to round number 4. So now is the time to grab a fresh answer sheet. As always, make sure your pen is ready to go. Round number 4 is another mixed bag round of questions. And we're going to start you off with question number 1. And that is, which African capital city's name is made up of more than 70% vowels? So which African capital's city name is made up of more than 70% vowels? Moving on to question number 2. We're staying on the topic of capitals, actually. So some countries like to switch their capitals or just change its name every now and then, which of course can be slightly annoying when you're trying to learn them by heart, especially if you're a big trivia fanatic. So we're going to give you 4 former capitals and the year when it was changed to the current ones. Can you tell me the country that made each of the following switches in their capital? So we're looking for 4 separate answers for half a point each. We start with A. We have Astana to Nur Sultan in 2019. We have B. We have Berjumbura to Gaitica in 2018. We have C. Dar es Salaam to Dodoma in 1996. And we have D. Yango to Naypyidaw, which was 2005. So can you give us the country that made each one of these switches? For question number 3, we have another connection, but actually this one we're looking for what is the one word that logically connects these 4 seemingly unrelated images. So what is the one word that connects all 4 of these images? On to question number 4. We would like to know what is the heaviest land mammal to be found in the wild in North America. So can you name the heaviest land mammal to be found in the wild in North America for question number 4? Question number 5 has everything to do about food and drink. So I'm about to describe 3 aubergine or eggplant dishes, and we would like to know, can you give us the proper name for each one? So we start off with A, dish, an Levantine appetizer consisting of mashed cooked eggplant, olive oil, lemon juice, various seasonings, and sometimes tahini. It's served as a side to a main meal and is a dip for pita bread. Then we have B, a Greek dish based primarily on sautéed aubergine and tomato, usually with minced meat and mostly lamb. The Greek version of this dish includes layers of meat and eggplant, which are topped with a bechamel or white sauce and baked. Then we have C, which is a Sicilian side dish often served with fish, consisting of chopped fried aubergine and other vegetables, seasoned with olive oil, tomato sauce, celery, olives, and capers, and an agrodolce sauce. If you weren't hungry, you're probably hungry now, so can you give us the proper name of each one of the dishes I just described for question number 5? Now that our mouths are all watering and super hungry, we're going to go on to question number 6. This English sugar merchant became a millionaire in the 19th century when he bought the patent for sugar cubes. During his lifetime, he spent much of his wealth on charity, and he collected paintings, of all things. In 1889, he donated 65 of his paintings to the British government on a condition that a suitable gallery be built. In 1897, the National Gallery of British Art was opened, but colloquially, it was known by the name of its founder. Nowadays, the museum bears the name of the philanthropist and his 3 branches, another one for modern art in London, and furthermore in Liverpool and St. Ives. Which museum or philanthropist did I just describe? So can you name the English sugar merchant who became a millionaire in the 19th century when he bought the patent for sugar cubes and donated all of his art to make sure it was in a certain type of gallery? For question number 6. Question number 7. Hurricanes turn counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. The force that causes this is named after an 18th century French scientist. What is the name of that scientist or this force? So hurricanes turn counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Can you give us the name of this force for question number 7? For question number 8, we have 4 ultra short clips in the upper left-hand corner of your screen now. Don't worry, we will make them bigger. But what we would like to know is all of these clips have something in common, a common theme, and that is the hunt for treasure. What we would like to know is, can you name all 4 of the films that these clips were taken for? So we're looking for 4 answers, half a point each. Can you name all 4 films that these clips were taken from? I hope that little bit of extra time helped with those 4 different clips there, but we're going to go right on to question number 9. This state in the southwestern coast of India is the smallest state of the country by area. Its largest city is Vasco da Gama, which explains the still visible cultural influence of the Portuguese, who conquered it as part of the Portuguese India in the 16th century. It was annexed by India in 1961. In the 1990s, the name of the state became synonymous with a certain style of trance music, which was rooted in the history of the state as a hippie capital in the 60s and 70s. Nowadays, though, it's a populous popular tourist destination because of its white sandy beaches, active nightlife, and unique architecture. Which Indian state did I just explain? So can you give us the Indian state that in the 1990s it became synonymous with a certain style of trance, but nowadays, of course, it's popular with tourists because of the white sandy beaches, active life, and unique architecture. So can you name the Indian state for question number 9? Question number 10 brings us to a video clip, and my question for you is short. We just want to know, which capital city are we visiting? So in the video, we're going to visit a capital city, and we would like to know, which capital city are we visiting? And that does it for round number 4. All 10 questions have come and flown by, but don't panic, we're going to give you 90 more seconds to finalize your answers. All right, we're back, and that means it's time for the answers for round number 4. But as usual, now is the time to switch your answer sheets if you're in a local competition. And again, if you're just there in the home by yourself with your team, now is the time to grab your pen, different colored pen, so we can go through the answers. And we start with question number 1. We were looking for the African capital city name that's made up of 70% vowels. Now, I've been practicing this one all evening, and I'm probably going to say completely wrong, but we were looking for Rogaga. See, I even did it right there. I've been trying it so hard. We were looking for Rogadagu. Let me know how I did in the chat. I'm not sure if I got it correctly, but hey, gave it a shot. But 1 point if you got that name that was 70% vowels that I can't pronounce. Moving on to question number 2, we were looking for 4 different answers. So we had A, which was Kazakhstan. We had B, which was Burundi. C, which was Tanzania, and D, which was Myanmar. So half a point each for all of those that you got correct. Question number 3, we were looking for the connection, so the single word that connected all of them. So we have Will Truman from Will and Grace, we have The Truman Show, we have Harry S. Truman, and we have Truman Capote. So the one word that connects them all, of course, is Truman. Moving right on to question number 4. We were looking for the heaviest land mammal to be found in North America in the wild, and that was the American bison, or bison, if you just put that down. Also give yourself a point. American bison for question number 4. Question number 5, we were talking about the 3 aubergine or eggplant dishes, and we were looking for the proper name. Well, the first one that I described, that was baba ganoush. For half a point. We have B, which was moussaka, and we have C, which was caponazza. So those 3 eggplant dishes, half a point each if you got those correct. Question number 6 was all about that English sugar merchant, and I had no idea that you could even patent the shape of a sugar cube or patent sugar cubes in general. But we were looking for Sir Henry Tate or the Tate Britain Museum. 1 point if you got that one correct. Question number 7, we went to talk about hurricanes spinning counterclockwise and clockwise. The force that we were looking for was the Coriolis force. So 1 point if you got that one correct. Question number 8, we had those 4 short clips from movies that all had to do about the hunt of treasure. So we started with A, which was The Mummy. We have B, National Treasure. We have C, Romancing the Stone, and D was from Uncharted. So half a point each if you got those correct. Question number 9, the state in the southwestern coast of India, that was Goa. So 1 point for that question. And question number 10, that was the video, the city that we were visiting, that was Bratislava. So Bratislava for 1 point if you had that one correct. In total for this round, there was a maximum of 12.5 scores. We will give you a minute to calculate, but as always, let us know how you did in the chat. We follow along, and it's always great to see how you did, what you thought about the round itself. But here comes your 1 minute to calculate your score. And welcome back. It looks like I see some scores coming in, 12.5, nice. Also 11, so it seems like everyone did quite well that round. Keep letting us know how you did in the chat. It's always great to see what everyone's doing. And we're almost ready for break number 2, but before we do, we have another batch of team photos. So again, keep sending those to us using the QR code. Steph is feverishly behind the computer going through all of them. And if you send it, most likely we can get it up on the screen. But we have a fresh batch now, so let's go in and see who we have joining with us tonight. We have another pet mascot. We have Cookie Mookie from Estonia. Looks like you're having a great time. And I love the little guy there on the lap. So thanks so much for joining us this evening. Another group. Yes, let's zoom in a little bit more. We have Minx, Lynx, and Ulinsa. That's a tongue twister there, but from Latvia. But thank you so much for joining. Looks like you two are having a great time. All right, on to the next one. Let's see, go in a little bit closer. And we have Reiger from Austria. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Hope you're enjoying it this evening. Who else do we have? Oh, looks like we have some more mascots with us. Yes, we have Team Van Gogh from here in the Netherlands. Looks like those two guys are maybe fighting over an answer to see which one should have been put down on the answer sheet. But either way, it looks like they're having a great time. Again, thanks for joining us this evening. And let's see, what else do we have here? We can zoom in a little bit closer. Yes, we have Rio Rules from Brazil, England, and Malta. Some regulars joining us. So great to see your faces again. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying this evening. And I believe we have one more set if we go forward. Yes, if we zoom in one more time. We have fans out of Ukraine, split all over Europe. So great to have you guys joining with us. We have Team FTL throughout the US, UK, and Spain. Great that you can spend your evening with us. We're very happy to have you all here. And with that, we have come to the break, the second break of the evening. So I'm going to give you 6 more minutes to stand up. Again, refresh your drink, refill your plate, stretch, get ready for the last round, the last 2 rounds actually, our themed round, a special themed round, and our last music round. So 6 minutes, we'll be right back here. See you on the other side. And welcome back. We are here ready to go on to the last two rounds. So we have round number 5 coming up, which is a special theme round, as I mentioned before the break. And then we have round number 6, which is our music round. But first, we go with round number 5. And this time, we're bringing back a round that was recently showed off by Yulinka. And of course, the feedback was amazing. And many of you wanted to make it a staple. So it's going to join the likes of Answer Smash and Answerception. So Yulinka and Hito and the team here got to working, and we created a new set of anagrammed answers. So each question that I'm going to give you is actually 2 questions, and both answers, which are worth half a point each, are basically anagrams of each other. So, for example, I may ask you, the main actress in the film You've Got Mail meets the country directly east of the Netherlands. So the first part of the question, that You've Got Mail, the answer would be Meg Ryan. And the second part of the question, the answer is Germany. So if you flip those answers, or flip the letters from one answer to the other, they form each other. So Meg Ryan and Germany. So that's the idea, anagrammed answers. So we're looking for 2 answers for each question, and each answer is half a point. So let's just get into it and see how you guys get along. So we start with question number 1. We have a US science fiction TV series about an FBI team that investigates unexplained occurrences which are related to mysteries surrounding a parallel universe. And we meet that with a limb of the body found in the hands of most tetrapods. So we have the US science fiction TV series about the mysteries surrounding a parallel universe, next to a limb on the body found in the hands of most tetrapods. Again, anagrammed answers, 1 answer, take that, flip the letters around, gives you the answer to the second question, and that kicks you off for number 1 of round number 5. For question number 2, we start with a 4-letter abbreviation used to describe a tingling sensation that usually begins on the scalp and moves down the neck and upper spine. And then we have the planet commonly nicknamed the Red Planet. So we start with that 4-letter abbreviation, anagram that out to come up with the planet commonly nicknamed the Red Planet for question number 2. Moving on to question number 3, we first start with the second largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world by area and population, and the name given to a mechanism or device in which information is represented by continuously variable physical quantities. So we start with the second largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world, and you can anagram that out to find the answer for a name given to a mechanism or device in which information is represented by continuously variable physical quantities. On to question number 4. We start with a drug with the chemical formula C17H H21NO4, and an adjective used for a person of Australasian, Polynesian, Micronesian, or Malaysian descent. So a drug with the chemical formula of C17H21NO4 and an adjective used for a person of Australasian, Polynesian, Microasian, or Melanesian descent for question number 4. For question number 5, we start with an American singer known for her songs Baby One More Time, Oops, I Did It Again, and Toxic. And then we have a member of part of the Reformed tradition within Protestantism that traces its origins to the Church of Scotland. So take that American singer known for her hit songs Baby One More Time, Oops, I Did It Again, and Toxic, and anagram that out for the members or of part of the Reformed tradition within Protestantism that traces its origins to the Church of Scotland. For question number 6, we start with the only U.S. state to border exactly one other U.S. state, though it does share a border with Canada as well. And we have a name used for hand-drawn and computer animation originating from Japan. So take the only U.S. state to border exactly one other U.S. state and anagram that out to find the name used for hand-drawn and computer animation originating from Japan for question number 6. Question number 7. We start with a Swedish singer known for her hit songs Show Me Love, With Every Heartbeat, and Dancing on My Own. And we have a name given to males who are fans of the My Little Pony television program and range of toys. So start with that Swedish singer known for her songs Show Me Love, With Every Heartbeat, and Dancing on My Own, and anagram that out to find a name given to males who are fans of the My Little Pony television series and range of toys. Question number 8, we have a sequel to the 1979 science fiction horror film Alien, and the name of a mixture of sodium chloride and water used to clean wounds, remove and store contact lenses, and is also used to treat dehydration. So start with the sequel to the 1979 horror film Alien, and anagram that out to come with the mixture of sodium chloride and water used to clean wounds, remove and store contact lenses, and even use in dehydration. question number 9 for our anagrammed answers round. We start with an American rock band fronted by Ann and Nancy Wilson, famous for its hit songs Crazy on You, Barracuda, Alone, and All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You, meets one of the classical Greek elements along with air, fire, and water. So take the American rock band fronted by Ann and Nancy Wilson and anagram that out to meet one of the classical Greek elements along with air, fire, and water. And finally, question number 10. We start with the city, which serves as the seat of the Japanese emperor, meets the city that was the seat of Japanese emperors for 11 centuries until 1869. So the city which serves as the seat of the Japanese emperor meets the city that was the seat of Japanese emperors for 11 centuries until 1869 for question number 10. And that does it for our anagrammed answers round. Now this is the last shout out if you want to get your team photo into Steph before we show it up on the screen. So last chance to send us those using the QR code. If you've already done that, great. If not, this is your last chance to do that. But for everybody else, I'm giving you 90 more seconds to finalize your answers. We're back, and that means it's answer time. But before we do that, again, if you're in the local competition, now is the time to switch your answer sheets. And again, if you're at home, grab that colored pen, and let's get to it. The answers for round number 5. We had the anagrammed answers, and we asked you first for the U.S. science fiction TV series and also the limb of a body found on the hands of tetrapods. Well, the TV series was Fringe for half a point, and the body part, that was the finger. So half a point each if you got those. Question number 2, we were looking for the 4-letter abbreviation used to describe a tingling sensation, and that was ASMR. And we have the nickname for the red planet, and that was Mars. So half a point each for those that you got correct. Question number 3, we asked the second largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world, and that was Angola for half a point. And we have the mechanism or device that does the continuously variable physical quantities, and that was analog for half a point each. Question number 4, we were wondering what that drug was, that formula that we showed on the screen. Well, that was cocaine. And we started with that adjective, and that was oceanic. So cocaine and oceanic for half a point each. Question number 5, we were looking for the American singer with Baby One More Time and Oops, I Did It Again. That was Britney Spears for half a point. And we were looking for the members of that Reformed tradition, and that was Presbyterian. So half a point each for the ones you got correct. Question number 6, we were looking for the only U.S. state to border exactly one other U.S. state, and that was Maine. And then we were looking for the hand-drawn or computer animation, which was anime. So half a point each for Maine and anime. Question number 7 was the Swedish singer, and that was Robin. And we were looking for the fans, what they're called, the male fans that are fans of the My Little Pony television series and range of toys, and those are Brawny. So Brawny and Robin for half a point each. Question number 8, we looked at the sequel of the 1979 science fiction horror film Alien, and that was Aliens. And we were looking for the mixture of sodium chloride and water, and that was saline. So aliens and saline for half a point each. Question number 9, the American rock band formed by Ann and Nancy Wilson. That was, of course, Hearts. And we were looking for the classical Greek element along with air, fire, and water, and that was earth. So heart and earth for half a point each. And finally, question 10, we were looking for the city that served as the seat both for the current emperors and the previous emperors. Well, currently that seat is in Kyoto, and previously it was in Tokyo. So Kyoto and Tokyo for half a point each. You could score a total of 10 points this round, half a point for each correct answer. We're going to give you a minute to calculate your scores. Again, as always, let us know in the chat how you did, and let us know what you thought of this round. It was such a hit last time that Yelinka and the team had to throw it in again, so do let us know what you thought, and we'll see you on the other side. Well, I'm seeing quite some good scores, 10, 10, 10, 9. Looks like everyone got along quite well in that round. Again, let us know what you thought, if you want to see it again, if you want this to really become a staple. I'm sure Yelinka and the team would be happy to oblige on that one. And now that means we're almost ready for the final round, the music round. But first, we have one last set of photos that I think we have some time to share. So I think if we can flip over to those ones, let's see who were the ones that sent in the photos for us this evening. Let's go into the first set and zoom in on that one. We have, I get to practice my Dutch. We have the Beide Handjes from here in the Netherlands. And well, thank you so much for that sign there. We all love you here as well. Thank you again for joining us. Great looking team. I really love it. Thanks again. Next one, who do we have now? Zooming in, we have Team Sugar from Latvia. That is a mighty fine looking team. Looks like everyone's chill, relaxed, having a great time, but also could be that on the cover of a magazine. So thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a great time as well. And one more, I believe, yes, let's zoom in. Again, we have Norfolk and Chance from Germany, plus a cat. So it looks like you guys are having a wonderful time there as well. Thanks again for sending in your photos. And as always, next time you can use that QR code to send in the photos, send in your team photos. We always love to see them. And just like this evening, you always have the chance of having them shown on the live stream as well. Well, quizzers, that means we have now come to our final round, which is round number 6, the music round. And this week, we have a theme. We will be playing old-fashioned music. So we have an old-fashioned music round. So what we're looking for is the title and performing artist or band for each song. Both of them are worth half a point each for a grand total of 10 points. As always, there's the theme. All of the songs we will be playing this evening all at least have one word of Spanish in the lyrics. So that's your theme. All of the songs you hear have at least one word of Spanish in the lyrics. So you're going to hear the clip. I'm not going to be talking at all through this round. You'll hear the clip. You'll get your few seconds to try and figure out what the answer is, write it down on the answer sheet, and we'll automatically go into the next one. The next time you see me, I will be back with the answers for this round. So with that, I'm going to start you off with question number 1. Good luck.
Forbidden anymore. Don't let the world in outside. Don't let a moment go by. Nothing can stop us tonight.
I wish I could pretend I didn't need ya, but every touch is ooh la la la. It's true la la la. Oh, I should be running. Oh, you keep me coming for ya.
Land in Miami, the air was hot from summer rain, sweat dripping off me. On that sunny day, didn't know I'd meet such a beautiful girl walking down the street. Seen those bright brown eyes with tears coming down. So he said to himself, she deserves a crown, but where is it now? Mama, una mano arriba, cintura sola, da media vuelta y sacude duro. No te quites ahora, que esto solo empieza. Mueve la cabeza y sacude duro. Para sacar la locura, morena bella a mi lado, que va a llegar esperando. Quiero ver ese futuro para saber.
¿Cómo fue que se va? Last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I'd never gone. I knew the song.
Ella quiere su rumba. ¿Cómo? Si es verdad que tú eres guapa, yo te voy a poner a gozar. Tú tienes la boca grande, dale, ponte a jugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick to the track on my way to the top. Your pit got it locked from goose to the lock. So R.I.P. a big in Parker that he's not, but damn he's hot. it dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body.
Una poca de gracia pa' mi patria. Y arriba, y arriba. She's got new addictions for every day and night. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, or she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Upside, inside. Voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that music round. We were here dancing along to all the songs in the studio. Hope you got to groove a little bit as well. Now it's time for the answers, but first, if you're in the local competition, now is the time to switch your answer sheets. And again, if you're there with your own team at home, now is the time to grab that other colored pen. And we're going to go through the answers. So question number 1 of round number 6, the song we heard was Bailamos by Enrique Iglesias. So half a point for each of those if you got them correct. Question number 2, we had Señorita, and that was by Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. So half a point each for those ones as well. Question number 3, again, we heard Señorita, but this time we heard it by Justin Timberlake. So half a point each for the song and artist. Question number 4, we went into Danza Kuduro by Lucenzo and Don Omar. So half a point each for those if you got them correct. Question number 5, we had Madonna by La Isla Bonita. So half a point each for those if you got them correct. Question number 6, we went along to Mr. Worldwide with I Know You Want Me by Pitbull. So Pitbull, I Know You Want Me, half a point each for those. Question number 7, the one I was dancing along with, good thing you couldn't see me on the camera, we have Shakira with Hips Don't Lie. So half a point each for those. Question number 8, we had Los Lobos with La Bamba. So half a point each for those ones if you got them correct. Question number 9, another one I was dancing along to, we had Ricky Martin with Livin' La Vida Loca. I remember that when that one came out when I was in school, dancing it in the high school gymnasium. Lots of good memories with that one. And finally, question number 10, we had Louis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee with Despacito. So half a point each if you got those ones correct. The maximum score you could have got with that round was 10. And overall, the maximum score for this evening was 65 because that brings us to the end of the quiz. So do let us know how many points you got out of that 65 this evening. We always love to hear, and it keeps Hito and I and the team in the loop. And that was it. So the next quiz we have for you will be on April 2nd. Now, we will be right back here in the studio live from Eindhoven. So April 2nd, mark it on your calendar. Make sure you're there. We're looking forward to it. Now, this QR code is going to stay up on the screen for the rest of the broadcast until the quiz has ended and the stream has ended. So you can use it to share your score with us. So make sure you do scan that. It'll put you into a form where you can give us your final ranking of the evening. And as I mentioned at the start of tonight, we put that together about 36 hours after this stream today. So if you're rewatching this on Sunday or Monday morning, you can go ahead and scan it to give us your final score. And then we do publish that on our socials with the whole entire ranking of this evening, so you can see how you stood up to the rest of the world. You can also make a contribution on this page. So again, if you've done so already, thank you so much. It really helps to keep this going and gives us something back for the hours we put in to make this awesome quiz for you this evening. And it also makes sure that we can keep doing this in the future. Also, please let us know in the comment sections how you got on in the video, but also here in the stream. If you've had fun, which rounds you want to keep, which ones you don't. I already saw some people loved the anagrammed answers and answerception, so maybe we start rotating those in, kind of spice it up a little bit. Also, make sure that you like and subscribe from the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. That way you can stay up to date on everything that goes on here at the quiz. And with that, that leads us to the end. So from all of us here in the studio, it's time to say good evening and farewell to you now. So thank you very much to Stephanie, to Hito on the chat, and to Rudy for making sure everything you could hear and see this evening. Thanks for your support. It was so great to be here with all of you guys and also with all of you at home. Thank you so much. Again, the next quiz will be April 2nd. You also see it on your screen. Until then, we say good night, and until next time, I say hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. See you next time, quizzers.
to say, you should hear it. Oh, I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell ya, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, oh, oh, oh. And I ain't never gonna stop. Come on. Listen to me. I've tried so many times to tell you this is as good as I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hit of the party? Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Never gonna stop. No, 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 no.